Hey hackers, I'm Kailash Parshad from HackProKP, and in this video we are going to talk about other network models in our Cracking OSCP, your roadmap to ethical hacking success series. You can download the notes for this video from the video description. We are able to see three network models. On the left we have the OSI model, in the middle we have DoD, that is short for Department of Defense, and on the right we have TCP IP model or Internet Protocol Stack. Now let us talk about the OSI model. Now this model is a familiar one. We all know that the OSI model has 7 layers, that is physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer and application layer. Now let us talk about DoD, that is Department of Defense model. We can see that this model only has 4 layers when we compare it to the 7 layers in the OSI model. The only differences between the OSI model and the DoD model is that the names of the actual layer have been changed and some of the layers have been compressed to form only one layer. For example, the last 3 layers in the OSI model, that is session layer, presentation layer and application layer, have been shrunk down to form process application layer in the DoD model, which is the last layer, layer 4. And the first 2 layers in the OSI model, that is physical layer and data link layer, have been shrunk down to form network access layer, that is the first layer in the DoD model. Now let us talk about the model on the right, that is TCP IP model. We can see that this model has 4 layers similar to the Department of Defense model. We all can see that some of the layers from the OSI model have been shrunk down to form single layer in the TCP IP model. For example, the last 3 layers in the OSI model, that is session layer, presentation layer, application layer, have been shrunk down to form application layer, that is the last layer or the 4th layer in the TCP IP model. And the first 2 layers in the OSI model, that is physical layer and data link layer, have been shrunk down to form network interface or link or physical layer. Now we are going to talk about the different models in detail, starting with the OSI model, that is Open System Identification. This model was developed in the late 1970s and early 1980s by the International Organization for Standardization (ISO). The sole purpose of this model was to create a universally accepted framework that can guide the development and implementation of networking protocols that will allow different systems to communicate with each other regardless of their underlying technologies. This model is not that well known when we compare it to a different network model in this video. If you know the answer, you can comment it down. Now let us revise the 7 layers of the OSI model. Layer 7 being application layer and layer 1 being physical layer. Starting with layer 7. Application layer provides network services directly to end users or applications. Layer 6. Presentation layer translates data between application layer and the lower layers. It handles the data format and also deals with encryption and decryption of the data. Layer 5. Session layer. This layer, as the name suggests, manages sessions, that is dialog control, establishing, maintaining and terminating connections. Layer 4. Transport layer. This layer is the heart of the OSI model and it deals with end-to-end communication, reliability and error recovery. Layer 3. Network layer. This layer manages logical addressing, routing and best path determination. Layer 2. Data link layer is responsible for node-to-node communication, error detection and flow control. It also includes 2 sub-layers, that is logical link control LLC and media access control MAC or MAC. And finally layer 1 or physical layer. This layer deals with physical connections between devices. Now let us talk about DoD model or Department of Defense model. The DoD network model was developed by the US Department of Defense for the ARPANET, the precursor of the modern Internet. The purpose for this network model was to guide the development and implementation of networking technologies within the US military, providing a framework for communication and data exchange. Some of the protocols that are compatible with the DoD model are HTTP, FTP, TCP, UDP, IP, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and much more. The TCP/IP model was derived from the DoD model, and it became the foundational model for the modern internet and is widely adopted in the networking globally. Now let us talk about the layers in the DoD model. Layer 4, that is process application layer. Like the OSI model, application layer, this handles communication between software applications. Layer 3, host to host layer. This is like the transport layer in the OSI model. This provides end-to-end communication and data flow control. Layer 2 or internet layer. Like the OSI model's network layer, this handles packet routing and forwarding. Layer 1 network access layer. Like the OSI model's data link layer and physical layer, this layer deals with physical network components. And now let us talk about the most famous network model, TCP/IP model or Internet Protocol Stack. This model was evolved from the DoD model and became the de facto. De facto is a Latin term that translates in fact or in practice standard for the development of the internet. The purpose for the TCP/IP model was to enable communication and data exchange between devices connected to a network. Some of the protocols that are compatible with the TCP/IP stack are HTTP, FTP, TCP, UDP, IP, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and much more. As we know that the TCP/IP stack was derived from the Department of Defense model, and this gained broader adoption and became the standard for the internet due to the practicality and widespread use. Now let's take a deeper look at the layers of this important model. Layer 4 or application layer. This layer is closest to the end users and provides network services directly to applications. Layer 3, that is transport layer. This layer handles end-to-end communication and data flow control between devices. Layer 2 or network layer. This layer handles logical addressing and routing of data packets between devices on different networks and path determination. When I say path determination, I mean finding the best route for the data packets to travel and reach the destination host in the fastest way possible. Layer 1 network interface, link and physical layer. This layer deals with the physical connections between devices within the same network and is responsible for node-to-node communication, error detection and flow control. Now let us talk about why TCP/IP model is better than OSI model. The TCP/IP model is often considered better than the OSI model due to its historical development for the internet, widespread adoption, practicality, simplicity, and adaptability to evolving technologies. It serves as a de facto standard for networking, while the OSI model, although comprehensive, is less widely implemented in practice as it seems more theoretical and complex. So because of this reason, we are going to continue with the TCP/IP model further in this course. Alright hackers, that's a wrap for today's session. If you found value in this video, leave a like, share it with your fellow hackers and comment below your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that will propel your hacking journey to next heights. Thank you for joining me today on HackProKP. I am Kailash Parshad, and until next time, happy hacking!